Hello everybody and welcome to Bathmat Reviews, where today we are going to be talking about Transformers Titans Return Megatron. And I really like this guy. So this is a pre-tool, I believe. Like, it came out before the proper mold for it, of Blitzwing. But I didn't like it on Blitzwing as much as I do on Megatron, personally. If you like it on Blitzwing, totally fine. Both are good versions. I just got this one. I just didn't want to get both, and I like this one more, so I grabbed this one. There are other versions of Blitzwing that I like more. But, yeah, I really like this guy, and I think you should too. I don't know where I'm going with that. You don't have to like it, you don't have to dislike it. I don't care. Speaking of liking and disliking, remember to like the video. And also subscribe. You know, apparently, I have like 200 something recurring viewers, and I only have like 100 something subscribers, which, don't get me wrong, I love that I have 100 subscribers. That's awesome. Well, I have 120 as of time of recording this, but if all of the returning viewers just, you know, checked and saw if you have or have not subscribed and hit that subscribe button, hey, my subscriber amount would double, and that would help me out a lot, and that would be sick. No pressure, though. Do whatever you want. But, anyway, now let's talk about this figure, because I like it a lot. And, as I said before, I think it works better as Megatron than it did as Blitzwing. Just, I don't really know why. It just works. Plus, a triple changing Megatron is awesome. Oh, also, box review. So, here's the box. You have Megatron being decapitated, Titans Return, Doomshot, and Megatron. It's weird that Doomshot is above Megatron. Oh, that's interesting. Doomshot is trademarked, and Megatron has copyright. That makes sense. But, yeah, then you got the plastic on the inside. You got a bunch of schematics back there. You got the side, that's boring. You got the top, that is equally as boring. You got Megatron with his Titans Return thing there. Then you got the back. You have that. You have that. That's Doomshot. You have that. You have that. And personally, I'm going to say it right now, plane mode, I like more than the tank mode. But the tank mode does look better than this because it doesn't have the baby cannon. And then you can do stuff with the Titan Master, and then you got other fellows that it's compatible with, and yeah. So, that's pretty cool, but I do not care. I care about the figure, and yeah, again, I really like this guy. So, let's get into it. So, let's get a close look. Here, you got Megatron, you got his chest, you got the feet. Now, I will say this is a overall problem with Titans Return characters, from what I understand, is that they used stickers for quite a few different stuff on them. And those, because they're stickers, don't hold up as well as paint. So, that is unfortunate. Mine, all my stickers are still in good condition, but I've seen on different Titans Return figures that, yeah, sometimes they start to fall off, and that kind of sucks. But, I don't know. If you're careful with it, it should probably be fine. But, yeah. So, bringing it in, there's the front, there's his chest, there's the painted legs, and then you got the back that has the wings there. Oh, also you can have the wings like that or like that. I like to do a bit of both, depending on how I pose it. I like to have them flat out when he's in more of a neutral stance. But, like, if I'm going to raise up the arm, I like to fold it back so that it gets it out of the way there, because otherwise you see the wing there. But, you know, you do whatever you want. And now let's behead him and look at the Titan Master. So, here is his head. Then you flip him up, and it is Doomshot. And it's a Titan Master. I really do not care about these guys at all, quite frankly. but it's a fun enough gimmick, and yeah, seems cool to me. Yeah, I always like the Japanese version of Headmasters more than the American one, where it's just the figure is this guy, and then he actually pilots this, instead of it being two separate characters. But at the end of the day, doesn't really matter either way. But just fold that back up and place that on his head, and for some reason this is fighting me. There we go. Oh, and before I forget, he has a gimmick where you take this, bring that down, and flip those up, and you have these two gun cannon things. I think it's more for Blitzwing, but you can do that if you want to. So that's fun. But I personally pretty much never touch those. And thankfully, I've heard on some copies that these are looser, like, and will pop up a lot depending on the version. On mine, it locks in very well. They pretty much only come out when I want them to, and so that's nice. Now, the cannon looks pretty cool, except for this part. I don't like the open gap gimmick that they did for the weapons so that the headmasters could wield it, but it also doesn't bother me too much. If it does bother you a lot, you can flip it around, and you can kind of force it in there, and it'll stay. It'll look weird from the side, but it'll stay. And so if that really bothers you, you can totally do that. Personally, doesn't bother me enough to mess with it, so I just leave it like that. And now let's get on to articulation. So head on a ball joint. You got full 360. You got a little bit of side to side and up and down, but you kind of got to be careful because you can, just take it out. Then you got up that far, which is very far. Then you got forward that. Wait, does it not do a full 360? Oh, that's weird. I didn't know that. So it does forward that far, back that far. Huh, it doesn't do a full 360. That, is it? Okay, I see. So you can, so right there, it's molded in, and you can press it past, but I would not recommend doing that because, well, you're messing with molded plastic. So naturally, it will go that far. But, yeah, it makes up for it with the out, in my opinion. Then, of course, you can just, adjust things like this and get it however you need to. Again, I hadn't noticed that it can't do a full 360 until I'm doing it right now. Then you have a bicep swivel. You have 90 degrees of bend. And I guess you can kind of move this side to side as well. Then you have nothing at the wrist. I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just one bit of plastic, which is a little bit weird because they definitely could have had a swivel there. You can mess with the cannon because it's a separate piece. Then nothing at the waist, unfortunately. Forward that far, back that far, very far. And then out that far, you have a thigh swivel, you have 90 degrees of bend, and you have down at the toe, and that's it. No ankle pivot or anything like that, but it naturally has a slant there, so you can have it in a wider stance without having to mess with anything. So I guess that's nice. But yeah, now let's get to size comparisons. So here he is with my previous review. Shrapnel, I almost said Scrapnel, which I think might be a name of it, and where it lost the trademark for a little bit, but Shrapnel and Megatron, and they work well together. And here he is with the prime unit of measurement, and yeah, they look also pretty dang good together. Although I really want the Octane version of so there's a pre-tool of Octane that turns into Optimus Prime, and I also really want that one. Weirdly enough, you can also get these guys as a Street Fighter crossover. I don't know why, but doesn't really matter. So, now let's get to transformation. And first we'll go into tank mode because I don't like it as much. Simple as that. So, first, remove the head. Take the arms, flip those out, rotate like that, and actually just move them out of the way. Come on down to the feet, flip this out, and so the knee pegs in right there, so unpeg that, and you will want that to go right into that slot right there. If you don't, these will randomly pop open. So flip the foot in actually first, and then just slide that up and peg that in, and then close that. Same thing on this side. Floop doop. Condense, actually flip the foot in first, then condense. Why am I forgetting to flip in the feet? And peg that in, condense, and close that up. And that will lock in nice and flush. Then take the fins, flip them out like so. Take this bit, fold that down for both sides of the arms, and then extend it at this hinge. Just bring that down, peg that in there, and then line this up and peg this in here, and just push the wing down until it fits, or fin down, I should say, and until it slots in just right, and then the hand will go onto that peg right there. And there you have that. Then you take the wings, just bend them down at this hinge like so, and get all that lined up, and it will just click right in and sit all nice and flush like. Then bring that forward, and you are done. And yeah, not the best tank, but you can make it better. Well, kind of. So it does have a couple of parts that have the plain bits sticking out, but you know, that doesn't bother me too much. But what does bother me is this baby freaking, this is pitiful. I don't like it. But if you take this, separate it into two pieces, then you can place that over that, like so. And that is a much better tank barrel. So you got that. And as far as articulation goes, you have rotation here and here. There is no up. Well, I mean, you can lift it up like that, but that's not really meant to be. And yeah, so that works. And if you need a place to put this gun, you can put it here, you can put it here, and have him wield it like that. I'm not going to fold him out yet because I don't feel like it. Actually, sure. You know what? It's my duty. And I just ripped his arm off. Don't do that to him. It's not very polite. But it is Megatron, so I suppose he can handle it. But yeah, you can have him sit there and man the gun, because that looks fantastic. Yeah, I don't like it. But you can. It even has extra slots there so that it'll stay. So, yay. But what I do is I take this. It has two holes here that I genuinely have no idea why they would be there for. Because as far as I know, nothing tabs into them. And put that gun right there. And, well, it's not the best storage. I think it keeps it out of the way, looking nice enough from certain angles that really doesn't get in my way. And then, you to deal with this guy, you just lift that up, place that in, and then you can either leave it like this or put it down like that. And I don't like that. I much prefer when they can, like, fully sit in somehow, but it's not the end of the world. It's fine. But now let's get to the mode that I do genuinely really, really like. So first, we'll just put it into its regular state, and let's get to jet mode, because that's where the love went. Oh, also, I suppose I should mention this. This can slot down here. I genuinely can never remember if you are supposed to do this for tank mode or not. As far as I can tell, it does not affect anything either way. So you can have it down or up. But I'll put it down because that is how you need it to be for jet mode. So first, I guess, bring that down. Then lift all this up. Take the wings, just bring them up for now. And I guess flip out these while you're there. And then take the arm bits, and then at this hinge, bring that out, and that will swing around. Actually, you might, yeah. Now that I think about it, you should probably leave that up there, just so that when you do this, you can slot it in correctly. But again, but neither one is a problem, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, bring that out, flip this around, just, come on, flip it around, and peg that in there. Bring this back down if you had it up, or if you had it down, leave it there. Again, it doesn't really matter. Then take the nose cone, or just the whole cockpit, I guess. Flip that up. Take the nose cone now, open that up. Get your finger in there, flip that out. Close that up. Take the tank barrel, or the whole turret at the top, I guess, and bring that there. You want the wings, do you want the tank kibble, I suppose, to be like this, and then you just fold that back up like so, and ooh, I forgot to adjust that into place, but bring up you're actually supposed to bring up the wings as you do that, so see there's a notch right there, so you just slot that right in, and it'll keep the fins in place. And then, same thing on this side, just bring all this up, and just give it a nice squeeze, bring the wings down, bring these fins down, and you are done. And this is where I'd say the figure's ult mode shines. I think this works really well as a jet that, this works as a Megatron, like a jet that I could see Megatron turning into, and also just as a jet transformer in general. Like, yeah, it's not perfect due to all this, but overall, I think this is a very good transformation, and I quite like it, you know? And also, to store all this stuff, so you can put it in a couple of places. So one place you can just take this gun, put that there, open this up, and put the headmaster in, and he'll actually sit in the cockpit, and I think that's pretty cool, and you could even see him in there. And then you can take the gun, and I guess you could just place it right back there, like that, if you want. You can take it and, oops, don't take off both. You can take that and put it on the cannon here, like so. And this you can also take and, I guess, put that down below, like this. I think I personally like having this one up top, like so, and having the cannon down here. But, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can also put it in any one of the ports that you can find. One of these two are also open season. But, yeah, so that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below what characters I should review next, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And follow me on YouTube and TikTok. Bye. Ooh. Why are you fighting me? I know it doesn't matter to the actual video, but don't fight me. Bye. Whoosh.